Melting polar ice sheets, melting glaciers, and the effect of melting on global sea levels, all researched and analyzed by APL-UW Earth scientist Ian Joughin.
I've been working on studying the ice sheets for the last 20 years. I do a lot of work in measuring how fast the ice is moving and modeling the flow of the ice to try and understand how rapidly that ice is being discharged to the ocean and raising sea level in the process.
After spending much of his career observing the ice sheet changes and modeling future contributions to sea level, Joughin concurs with the forecast by the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
The IPCC has uncertainty in their estimates, but it goes up to about 1 meter.
Or about 3 feet, well below another forecast making the news.
Says a new study that warns the world's seas are rising. Jim Axelrod has that part of the story.
Ever-warming oceans melting polar ice could raise sea levels 15 feet in the next 50 to 100 years. NASA's former climate chief now says 5 times higher than previous predictions.
Well, this is the biggest threat that the planet faces.
James Hansen, now at Columbia, co-authored an article published in the Journal of Atmospheric Chemistry and Physics. The study concludes that continued high emissions will make multi-meter sea rise practically unavoidable and likely to occur this century.
If we get sea level rise of several meters, all coastal cities become dysfunctional.
An ocean level rise of just 10 feet would flood major portions of Miami, Seattle, and New York City. Not surprisingly, James Hansen's startling forecast generated headlines. Ian Joughin notes the Hansen study conclusions are not based on models, but on a technique known as doubling.
They simply looked at the data over the last 10 years and estimated a doubling time and kept doubling and doubling and doubling. And we could do that with the stock market. We could pick a particular interval. In the mid-'80s, you'd find a doubling time of about 4 years, and if you kept doubling things, you'd say the Dow Jones should now be 256,000.
By contrast, the IPCC forecast is based largely on observation and modeling. A sea level rise of 1 meter is cause enough for concern, Joughin says.
3 meters is quite a lot more, well outside the range of the projections. 10 feet is not entirely zero possibility, but it's a very remote possibility, and it's unfortunate that some of the headlines have treated it as though it was a likely thing to occur. There's no way we're going to get 10 feet of sea level rise in the next 50 years, and quite unlikely that it's going to happen in the next 100 years.
Science at work for you. This is APL, the Applied Physics Laboratory at the University of Washington in Seattle.